Do you need a CPA to become an accountant? This is one of the top questions I get asked all the time. And the short answer is no. You do not need a CPA to start or even have a successful accounting career. I see a lot of confusion around this question, and a lot of people think if they do not have a CPA, they cannot work in accounting, and this simply is not true. So in today's video, I'm going to break down the myth about needing to have a CPA to work in accounting, when in your career it actually makes sense to get a CPA, and how you can realistically become CPA eligible if you decide it is right for you. My name is Kelly Randolph, and I have worked in corporate accounting for over 10 years now. I have worked for both Fortune 200 and Fortune 500 companies, and I'm currently a financial reporting manager. And I do not have my CPA yet, and I earn well over six figures working in accounting. There are a few reasons why there is so much confusion around the topic of needing a CPA. One reason is there's a ton of bad advice online from alleged accounting gurus who don't even work in accounting or haven't worked in accounting for years. Or perhaps the bad advice is from your teacher who isn't even necessarily in the accounting profession, telling you that you need a CPA in order to be an accountant. Well, my advice to you is only take career advice from someone who has actually done or is currently doing the thing that you want to achieve. And if that is earning six figures and working in accounting, you do not need a CPA to achieve that. The truth is, when you are first starting your accounting career, for most entry-level accounting roles, all you need is a bachelor's degree in accounting. You do not need a CPA, and you do not need a master's degree. Once you have your bachelor's degree, you should have your resume ready and start applying for entry-level accounting positions immediately. I see a lot of people go wrong here because they think they need their CPA before they can even start applying or get hired, and that is not accurate. The best thing you can do when you are first starting your career is get your foot in the door at a company and start gaining real accounting experience. If you are finding this video helpful so far, definitely give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I post weekly videos giving helpful accounting career advice. From a hiring manager's perspective, when I am interviewing entry-level accounting positions, I am not thinking CPA or no CPA. Instead, I'm thinking, can this person articulately explain their resume? Do they understand accounting basics? Do they seem like they have strong attention to detail? Do they seem friendly, and would they be a good team fit? The individual who can thoroughly explain the experience on their resume, asks good questions, and seems teachable is often the candidate that gets hired, regardless if they have a CPA or if they don't have a CPA. And if you want help making sure that your resume actually reflects your experience, or figuring out the right next step for your career, I now offer one-on-one career consultations and resume reviews. So if that is something you're interested in, definitely check the link in my bio or the video description. If your main goal is to earn six figures working in accounting, you should know this. This goal is absolutely achievable without a CPA. As I mentioned earlier, I am living proof of this. I currently work in corporate accounting as a financial reporting manager. I earn well over six figures, and I do not have my CPA yet. In my experience, it's pretty split. About half my accounting peers have their CPA and half of them don't. Many accounting managers I know working at both large corporations, including Fortune 500 companies, and private companies do not have their CPA either. In corporate accounting, companies often value your accounting experience over your credentials, i.e. if you have your CPA. A very realistic accounting career path looks like this. You graduate with your bachelor's degree in accounting and you obtain an entry-level staff accounting position. After working as an entry-level accountant for approximately 2 years, you get promoted to a senior accountant. If you are not able to get promoted to a senior accountant at your current company, you then can search for senior accounting positions outside of your company and obtain the position that way. Once you are a senior accountant for several years and you really hone in your accounting experience, experience and create a strong accounting foundation and skill set, you then become eligible to become promoted to an accounting manager. Similarly to the senior accounting position, if you are not able to get promoted to an accounting manager in your current company, you can then look for accounting manager positions outside of your company to obtain the position that way. And a lot of people are extremely happy getting to this point in their accounting career and stop here. Accounting managers typically have over six-figure salaries, receive annual bonuses, and usually have a good work-life balance. And if this is where you want to stop, good news, you do not need a CPA to get here, unless you want it for personal achievement. However, if you want to continue to progress into higher level accounting roles, like a director of accounting or a director of financial reporting, it does become much harder to get those positions without having a CPA. And this is actually where I'm at in my accounting career. I'm already a financial reporting manager, but if I want to continue to move up the corporate ladder, I'm at the point where I need to start considering studying for the CPA and sitting for the CPA exams. Because this is the point where having a CPA actually adds value to your accounting career. Because it allows you to progress into higher level accounting positions and start earning an even bigger salary, oftentimes reaching multiple six figures. Who said that accountants don't make a lot of money? I will caveat here, I have never worked at a Big Four company, and I have never worked as an auditor or in tax. I do work with auditors from Big Four companies, but I solely have worked in corporate accounting. That being said, there are some public companies that do prefer you have your CPA sooner in your career. And if that is the case, they will let you know. However, it does not mean you need to have your CPA before obtaining your first accounting position and starting to gain experience. If you do decide that you want to obtain your CPA, the first step is becoming CPA eligible. As of when I'm filming this video in 2026, you need 150 credit hours to sit for the CPA exams. And those credit hours need to consist of specific accounting and business courses. The CPA requirements are changing in 2027, and I will make a separate video on that. If you are unsure about your specific state's requirements, you should visit the National Association of State Boards of Accountancy's website, which is nasba.org. And click on your state's name and look up your state's eligibility requirements. Most people who graduate with a bachelor's degree in accounting do not have 150 credit hours, and oftentimes their first instinct is to get a master's degree in accounting. However, I do not recommend this. Master's degrees are extremely expensive, and most people already have student loan debt. The last thing we want to do is increase the student loan debt even more. We are trying to make money, not spend it on expensive master's degrees. Instead, I highly recommend obtaining the additional credit hours you need by going to a community college during the evenings or on the weekends while working full-time in an accounting position. In addition, many companies have tuition reimbursement programs where they will pay a portion of your course cost. So definitely check to see if your company has one of those. One thing to call out here is if you use your company's tuition reimbursement program, oftentimes your company will require you to work for a set period of time after receiving your tuition reimbursement. And if you leave before this set period of time is over, you usually have to pay them back. So you definitely want to check the fine print on your tuition reimbursement program agreement. And this is exactly what I did to become CPA eligible. I took the required courses I needed in the evenings while working full-time in an accounting position. And I used my company's tuition reimbursement program to help fund a large portion of my course cost. Then I paid the remaining balance with cash, and it prevented me from taking on additional student loan debt and become CPA eligible. Once you obtain your 150 credit hours in the necessary courses, you then have to have your eligibility approved. And once your eligibility is approved, you are officially CPA eligible and can start studying for the CPA, which leads me to another benefit of waiting until you are working, because many companies will also cover your entire cost of your CPA, including your study material and exam fees, which is awesome and will end up saving you thousands of dollars. So definitely see if your company has something like that as well. To recap, you do not need a CPA to become an accountant. You do not need a CPA to earn six figures. Experience matters much more than credentials at the beginning of your accounting career. A CPA becomes much more valuable as you want to progress into higher level accounting positions, such as a director of accounting. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I've been getting most of my video ideas based on the questions I am receiving. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video.